If the indicator was correct, then only one valve was left to prevent the fuel in the tank from leaking overboard instead of feeding into the space shuttle's 3 main engines. If that happened, we could end up too low to deploy the Hubble Space Telescope, at an abort landing site on the other side of the Atlantic, or splashed into the ocean. The launch would be scrubbed rather than accept that risk. If the indicator was wrong, however, think of the flaky tire pressure sensor on your car, then the engine system was fine and there was no reason to scrub. Which was it? Serious problem or faulty indicator? Go for launch or scrub? This high-stakes call fell to the launch team controller responsible for the shuttle's main propulsion system, someone I still know only by the call sign MPS. Time was not on his side. The shuttle's auxiliary power unit set a strict limit on how long we could hold at this point, only 12 minutes more. In the cockpit, we listened intently as the launch team worked out the problem. MPS, what's your status? The launch director asked. The propulsion engineer talked calmly through the data on his display. The temperature and pressure readings in the surrounding lines were not consistent with an open valve. Fundamental physics said it was closed. He proposed to send a manual command for the valve to close, hoping this would make the indicator read correctly. It worked, but the control center computers still had a lock on the countdown clock. MPS, what is your call? The launch director pressed. I am prepared to manually override the software and proceed with the count, he replied. With a crisp and rapid cadence the best soldier would envy, the launch director gave him the go to do that and told the other launch controllers to get ready to continue the countdown. Then he advised the NASA technical director, call sign NTD, who alone could restart the countdown clock in a situation like this, that the launch team was again go. The call we had been hoping for came a split second after. All controllers, this is NTD. The countdown clock will resume on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. The entire episode had taken less than 3 minutes. Aboard the shuttle, we marveled aloud at the technical acumen and cool professionalism the MPS engineer had shown as he saved us from a scrub by diagnosing the problem so swiftly, and beamed with delight as the countdown clock again began to tick down toward 0. 31 seconds later, Discovery roared off the launch pad. Sitting on the lower deck, with nothing but a wall of storage lockers to look at, I closed my eyes and took in the sounds and sensations of a space shuttle launch. The solid rocket motors, which are essentially gigantic firecrackers, made the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds turbulent and loud. I felt like I was in an earthquake and a fighter jet at the same time. The vibrations were almost bone-rattling, the thrust pushing through my back strong and constant. I felt the thrust tailing off just before Charlie announced that the chamber pressure in the solid rockets was decreasing, heard the thump that confirmed they had been jettisoned. The ride was much quieter now and as smooth as an electric train. The push against my back continued as thrust from the main engines accelerated us toward orbital velocity. 6 minutes later, they cut off as planned. The lightness in my arms and legs and the checklists floating at the ends of their tethers announced that we were in orbit. Although nearly 6 years had passed since my first spaceflight, I felt instantly at home. Acknowledgements. The only thing we do truly alone is have the start of a good idea, is one of my favorite adages, a reminder of how much we depend on other people in life. Certainly this book would not have been possible without the help and support of a great many people from the Smithsonian Institution, NASA, and that wonderful extended family known as Team Hubble. I am more grateful for their help and support than the few words on these pages can express. The launch pad for this work was a Lindbergh Fellowship in Aerospace History at the National Air and Space Museum. Special thanks to my longtime friend Valerie Neal for bringing that opportunity to my attention and supporting my application. Joyce Betty.